I had a near-death experience one time, and I saw my grandpa and grandma in heaven. It really struck me hard when they left here. I spent a lot of time with them as a young girl, and we just had so much fun. We'd go fishing, and my grandma was a whole lot like me, where she was quiet, a little on the quiet side. My grandpa, he was a drill sergeant in World War II, and so between my quiet grandma and my grandfather, who was kind of a smarty pants sometimes, it was really, man, they had a really cool childhood. They lived on sort of like a agricultural area. We had cows and chickens, and anyways, I spent a whole lot of time there. Um, then my grandmother, she was sick. She passed away, and I was probably about 25 or so when she left. It really hurt my grandpa bad too when she passed away, because they had a DNR on her, did not resuscitate, and but the hospital tried anyways, so she had to die twice. Then it hurt my grandpa real bad with her being gone, and he had to be by himself, and I went to visit him a lot even after she passed away. And then he became sick. He had leukemia, and they did what they could to try and save him. He shrunk down to almost nothing and lost a whole lot of weight. I remember right before he passed away in the hospital, he it was really kind of I don't know, it touched me really strongly, because I was at work and they had called me, and my mom and dad had called me to tell me that I had better get up to the hospital because grandpa wasn't doing very well, and they think that was going to be not very much longer before he passed. He was in and out of consciousness, and just gasping for air, and his oxygen was low. And I remember looking through the window at him when he was in ICU. My mom and dad and my sisters were around his bed, and he had his eyes closed, and he was just gasping for air. And I walked in the door. He woke up and said, "Oh my gosh, Tiff, it was like an angel just walked in the room. It's so nice to see you." And he said hi, and I gave him a hug and a kiss. And I sat there and talked with him for a little while. And mom and dad had said that was just really odd because he was out of consciousness the whole time they were there. But he woke up when I walked in the room and said that it was like sunshine just walked in. This still hurts me a whole lot, but having seen so many out-of-body experience stories, I figured I would share my own. So my grandpa, he went back to sleep, and then it came time to have to go home, and I told him bye. I told him to let me know whenever he gets there. And he said, "Okay, I'll let you know whenever I find Grandma." And he went back to sleep. that night was when he passed away in the middle of the night. I remember it was a Thursday. And they said Grandpa passed away. And then his funeral, oh my gosh. I was just laying over his casket and just crying and crying. Told him, let me know when you get there. Even though he couldn't speak back at that point, I felt like he was listening. And it really struck me hard for a long time. It still does, just thinking about it. So, about 6 months passed by. Then I was actually going through some hard stuff because I, just never really let go of their passing, because I just, even still, I imagine that they're around still. And so one morning, I remember it quite well, like it was just yesterday, how it happened. I was asleep. I was dating one of my only best friend ever. We stopped dating because of just reasons. We still talk a lot and play video games and whatnot. But at the time I was living with my friend Steve, and he always had to leave to go to work early. And that particular morning, I think I was not feeling well. So I slept in, and I was so asleep. I know it wasn't a dream. Because if it was a dream, it would have felt like a dream. This did not feel like a dream. This was, I had went somewhere. I remember coming out of my body and seeing myself laying on the bed, asleep. And I went up and up and up and up. And it was just such a warm, bright, caring feeling when I got there. It was like a hug. It was just so peaceful. When I got past the clouds, I was in what I can only compare as heaven, because of all the pictures I've ever seen and how I would imagine heaven being. It was warm, bright glow, the clouds everywhere. And I saw my grandpa and grandma there. They were smiling. They had their dog. They had a Pekingese. They always took her everywhere. And they were smiling and said, "Hey Tiff, we're here. You told us to let you know when we got here." I found Grandma right away. They looked just like I remembered them, maybe a little bit younger, not sick. And they said, "We just wanted you to know that we're okay. And don't rush getting here." Because when they passed, it was like I lost a huge piece of me, and I just wanted them back. There was a point where I was suicidal. I checked myself into a behavioral health hospital to try and get some help, and they helped, try and get past the down feelings. But it can never replace a loved one. Well, my grandpa and grandma, they hugged me and told me that I needed to not take things so hard, and none of this was my fault. Don't have any regrets. It was just their time. And then my grandpa said, just make sure to do things that you love. Don't work so hard. You need to do something that you're passionate about. He said, okay, it's time to go. We'll be waiting here. Don't rush. We'll be here when you get here. And then I felt myself getting pulled back. Like something was just pulling me back, like gravity. And I started getting pulled back, and my grandpa's like, be sure and look at the ocean on the way down. It's beautiful. The clouds look like waves. They look like big cresting waves. And I smiled. Okay, see you later, Tiff. Love you. Then I got pulled back into my body. I remember spiraling down really slow. And I remember waking up with a gasp. Like I was not there. Like my body was dead for a little while. And I swear to you, it felt like I had been somewhere. Like I really, really went somewhere. And the only thing I could think of, it was heaven. And I remember it was just so real. And that's my near-death experience. I was unconscious for a little while. And from time to time, I still see them. They make their appearance. Especially when things are low and I'm thinking about them. One night, I was really taking things hard. And I think about them a lot. And it felt like I wasn't here alone, even though I am here alone with my dogs. There's one of mine right now. Say hi, Stella. And I was there alone. I just didn't. I felt like I wasn't alone. Like my grandpa and grandma were here, and I have a stairwell on that way towards my kitchen, and periodically I see them at the top of the stairs. And yeah, I do have a lot of their belongings still because I can't get rid of it because it was just, it's a part of them. And it was like he put his hand out to help me up the stairs. And I reached for it. And he said, it's okay, Tiff. Just stay strong. Sorry. You'll have to see my crybaby face on this one. And I told them, thank you for looking after me. I miss you guys. He said, I know. And then he went back up to the top of the stairs. Every now and then my dogs look at the top of the stairs. And, almost like there's someone here. And I know he is. I know my grandpa and grandma are here. But that experience was so real. And, if you have a loved one that you're really close to, before they pass, tell them, let me know when you get there. Because they'll let you know. Especially if y'all are close. And, you know, I don't have things fly off the wall or anything like that. It's more of a loving kind of feeling when they're around. And I swear, there is a heaven. It's a really, really, really nice place. So if you know somebody who's not doing well, take care of them and don't have any regrets, and you do everything that you can for them, and they'll let you know whenever they get there. I have so many other stories to tell. That'll be for another episode. I'll be less tearful. This is my first one. It's been on my chest for a really long time, and I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel. I just didn't know what I wanted to talk about. But I really get into the paranormal, and the death intrigues me. You know, the thought of where your consciousness goes after it leaves this physical world. I kind of think it goes into a different dimension, like one that's not quite so physical. Like, we're not meat suits in our next place where we go. Now, people can also get stuck here too if, like, someone takes their own life. It happens suddenly, and then their energy is their consciousness, and it can get stuck here for a while. And that's why you sometimes see people needing help of someone spiritual. That way they can let them know that they're not here anymore, they're dead. It's okay to move on, move to the light, because the light's a really, really nice place. I myself I've got a lot of health problems that I'm struggling with. And there's another episode I'm gonna make where I have this out-of-body experience, and well, I don't know if it's really out of body or if it's what it is, but more like a premonition or something. I can't really explain it. Maybe some of the professionals on here would be able to help explain it more. But getting to see my grandparents in heaven, that was so real. And, I didn't want to come back because it was so nice there. But I had to. And so since then, I had to quit my job because of my health situation. And started doing all kinds of different freelance stuff. And stuff that I have to do inside the house. Well, mostly. On the good days, I get out and I do some drone related stuff. You can check out my drone channel. I'll put the link in the description. So that's my passion, is photography. And then when it was harder to be so long on my feet and heavy cameras around my neck, I was like, what can I do that I like to do, or that I think I'd like to do? Well, I like gaming, and that's really not going to bring any immediate cash flow. So I like photography a whole lot. I've been doing photography since I was in junior high or high school. Did that for 15 years with government office. And then, so I was like, what can I do that I love? Oh, what about drones? I said to myself, drones would probably be really a cool thing to get into. So now, between the hot in Houston, I have to be very careful because of the heat. I've got the dysautonomia thing going on, where it's really hard to control my body temperature. If I get a little hot, then I get sick, and then I'm down for a couple of days at least. But I'm starting up a drone business. It's still very small and inconsistent still. I learned thermography. I got a thermal drone so I could try and do roof inspection type stuff, anything with thermal. And so I'm getting better with that and trying to create a life around, well, back up, trying to create a business around my health, because things are really challenging. Right now it's pretty challenging. So I was like, what's a better time than now to start up a YouTube channel? I'm 49 years old, ADHD, found out later in life. Like, what in the world can I do? What do people like that I have a lot of experience with? Well, I get into the paranormal, and everybody says that I have a very angelic presence. Like, well, why not start up a YouTube channel talking about my experiences? Maybe people would like that. So if you like this, hit the like button and subscribe. That'd really mean a whole lot. And then you'll be notified on the next time I make an episode. Maybe I'll talk about the time I had a premonition of my passing, where I'm still here, but it happens a lot, and it's like, okay, well, I know how it happens, I just don't know when it's going to happen. Yeah, so maybe that's the next episode. Then I have a graveyard episode that I want to do too, where my friends took me out to the graveyard, and because I attract energy, and I attract ghosts. And then I can tell you about the friend that I had that accidentally made an early departure because of his problems, and he was actually hanging out here for quite a while until I don't think he's really over here very much anymore. Yeah, a ghost. But I knew him though. He was quite the character. And he told me, he's like, if I ever go, I'm going to come and haunt you. Ha ha ha. And he did. So, yeah, I have quite a few episodes coming up, and it would be really cool if you'd like and subscribe, and maybe check out the description. Go over to my other YouTube channel for my drone work and tickle the like button, maybe subscribe, that'd be really cool. I need to get monetized because this health situation is not fun. Maybe I'll talk about that on one episode too. It's Chiari malformation. Huge, another, whole nother story. So, thank you for watching, and I hope this story was, enlightening or whatever. And come back again. Thanks again, y'all. And this is Tiffany. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Love yourself. Love ya.